seats, folks, so we can begin. I know this is a great networking opportunity, but we've got some very deserving recipients today we want to get to. So, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking time to be with us this afternoon. I'm Troy McClellan, the President and CEO of your Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to the 2011 Business Awards Luncheon. As always, we love being here at our beloved Boca Raton Resort and Club, and I want to thank, as always, Steve Ast, the President of the Resort and Club and a Boca Chamber board member, for all his support and of this function, this marquee event. Steve, where are you? Thank you very much, Steve. And for our first order of business, now that you've all been seated, I ask that you please rise and help me welcome to the podium Dr. Peter Gallo, Associate Headmaster for Advancement at St. Andrew's School and a Boca Raton Chamber board member, for our invocation, and please remain standing for the pledge.
Almighty God, we have gathered here in your name and in the spirit of truth, fairness, goodwill, friendship, and concern for others. We are thankful for the blessings of this day, this country, and especially for those men and women whom protect our national security. Lord, even as we pray these words and express these thoughts, we are not always the people we would like to be. In this paralysis of spirit, we sometimes contribute to unrest, indifference to our neighbors' needs, and our preoccupation with material standards. Dear God, you are so patient, caring, and understanding. Forgive our inadequacies and help us to model your direction and stewardship. Help us to live by our respective faiths. Where there is hatred, may we bring kindness. Where there is despair, may we bring hope. And where there is darkness, may we bring light. Today we come together to honor our colleagues, Marcia Ramoke and Jerry Fideli. We are grateful for their leadership in the areas of education and healthcare. Let each of us this day be inspired by Marcia and Jerry's example to lead with passion and moral courage. We are equally grateful for the men and women of U.S. Food Service. As we humbly ask that you would bless this meal and those who have prepared it, let us be reminded of U.S. Food Service charitable initiative, which has led to providing nearly 500,000 meals for local Floridians in need. Lord, please inspire us to follow in the steps of U.S. Food Service in remembering those who are stricken by poverty. Finally, we thank you for this wonderful day to celebrate our successes. We ask that you would help us to convert our momentary and fleeting good feelings into lasting resolve of commitment, tenacity, and perseverance. We pray this in your name. Please join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Gallo. As our nation celebrates Small Business Week in Washington, D.C., and I know Office Depot Foundation spent some time up there earlier this week as our business leader sponsor today, we're proud to be here celebrating the people and businesses that help propel our local economy. Because as active and engaged business leaders in our community, you play a critical role in shaping and sustaining the economic vitality of Boca Raton and our region. There are critical economic drivers in play all around our area that directly benefit residences and businesses and steer us all to a successful future. Right now, the Downtown Boca Raton Initiative is starting a major push that will revitalize all of downtown, making it more pedestrian-friendly and an attractive place to bring our business. In the northwest sector on Yamato Road and Congress Avenue in the Arvida Park of Commerce and the Boca Commerce Center, there are focused efforts to enhance its position to become once again a nationally recognized business corridor. And it's this kind of progress that will make Boca Raton a prime spot to continue to attract corporate headquarters like Campus Management, 3C Interactive, MD VIP, Infinity Sales Group, and more to our community. Meanwhile, our local city government is constantly working hard to keep taxes low while increasing revenue so that our social services can operate at the highest level of efficiency, keeping our city a safe and beautiful place to live, work, learn, and play. And speaking of learning, how about Boca Raton, the college town? I'd challenge you to name any other community in this country that has the unique mix of higher education than right here in Boca Raton. With our Florida Atlantic University and its explosive growth, Lynn University and their continued excellence in expansion, and let's hope they land the vice presidential or presidential debate here on campus in Boca Raton. And of course, Palm Beach State College and their delivery of critical educational services. Today, we're honoring 2 business leaders and 1 business that have all contributed to the well-being of our community by first and foremost providing superior leadership, but vital services as well. From educational support to health care to nutritious food service, all 3 recipients prove that commitment to excellence is the pathway to prosperity. Today's honorees join a long list of past recipients who have all played a major role in making Boca Raton the successful community that it is today, and I'd like to recognize some of those past recipients now who are with us. Beginning in the Small Business Leader of the Year category, back from 1997, Scott Adams. Scott, you're here. Scott was with Vario at that time, or he's supposed to be here, so if you see Scott, congratulate him. Back in 1998, John and Margaret Mary Schuff of JES Publishing. I know they're here. Give them a round of applause. They've helped shape Boca Raton so nicely the past 20 years. From 2006, I saw Joe Porras, our board member from Call for Health. Joe, thanks for being here and supporting this event. From 2007, Chuck Stout, another board member from Meridian Insurance Group. Thank you, Chuck. And you're gonna hear from her later as she presents this year's award, but last year in 2010, Barbara Bush with Telcom Corp and Telcare Corp. Barbara, thank you. In the Business Leader of the Year category, back from 2001, Bob Gitlin with JKG Group. Bob, thank you so much. And as always, for providing our programs and supporting this event so substantially. In 2006, J.C. Perrin with U.S. Trust. 2008, Bert Rappaport with Rappaport Restaurant Group. Bert, I know you're here. And then you'll hear from this man, last year's winner in 2010 from Bryson Realty Corporation, Charles Shane. Charles, thank you. In the Business of the Year, some of those former recipients with us today are from, back from 1991, the Boca Raton Resort and Club. Steve and his team over there, thank you. In 1993, when they were called the Boca Raton Community Hospital, but they're going to be awarded today, and their leader, Jerry Fideli, now the Boca Raton Regional Hospital. In 2005, Kaufman Lynn, and I know Steve and some of your folks are here from Kaufman Lynn today. 2007, NCCI, always the great corporate sponsor of this community and the chamber. 2008, JKG. Bob's one of the few people that have both the individual and the business award in the category. And you will hear from Dr. Kevin Ross of Lynn University, the 2010 Business Leader of the Year. Let's give all those folks a great round of applause. And now it is my absolute distinct honor and pleasure to welcome to the podium the Chairman of the Board of the Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce of the law firm of Rutherford Mulhall, Mr. John Mulhall.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Troy. My name's John Mulhall, and I have the great pleasure to serve as the Chairman of the Board of Directors for the Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce. On behalf of our staff, our membership, and our board, I want to welcome you to this most important event. Today, as a community, we celebrate, recognize, and honor two business leaders and a business for all the things that make any business or any business person successful. We're here to recognize their passion, their vision, their creativity, their focus, industriousness, persistence, their service, and last but not least, the good that they do for others. Successful people will tell you that they couldn't have done it alone. That's not humility, that's the truth. I'm sure today's recipients of the recognition will thank their families, their associates, and their customers. They may attribute their success in part to the vision of the founding fathers of our great nation, or to a teacher or a coach who made a difference in their lives. To some, personal achievement could not have come without divine inspiration or intervention. But what seems most clear, and it can't be emphasized enough, is that success in business is not merely the product of a person's labors or intellect. If that were the case, the most that we could hope to become would be successful cave dwellers. Instead, the success of any human enterprise, any human pursuit, whether it be a business, a community, a political movement, or a civilization, is dependent upon shared values, common vision, cooperation, and collaboration with other human beings. It's commerce, folks. It's what differentiates us from the animal kingdom, and it's the essence of being human. And so today, we celebrate commerce as the wellspring of human growth and advancement. We're very fortunate to have two luncheon sponsors today, but before I introduce them, let me introduce you to some other VIPs who are with us. I ask if you could just stand to be recognized as I call off your name. I'm going to start with my chair-elect from the Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce, from NCCI Holdings, Cheryl Budd. Our vice chair from Flagler Real Estate Services, Keith O'Donnell. Keith. Our treasurer from Lynn University, its president, Dr. Kevin Ross. Say hello again to our president and CEO, Troy McClellan from the Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce. Our directors, Steve Ast from the Boca Raton Resort and Club. Steve. One of our honorees today, Jerry Fideli from the Boca Raton Regional Hospital. Again, Jerry, good afternoon. Nice round of applause for our invocator, Dr. Peter Gallo from St. Andrew's School. From K Communications, Bonnie K. Where's Bonnie? Bonnie's over here. Joe Porras from Call for Health. Joe. Again, past honoree Bert Rappaport from Rappaport's Restaurant Group. Tim Snow from the George Snow Scholarship Fund. And Chuck Stout from Meridian Insurance Group. As always, we have several past chairs as well, beginning with our 1997 chair from Insurance Metrics Corporation and fresh from Tallahassee, Bill Hager. Bill. J.C. Perrin, U.S. Trust, Bank of America Private Wealth Management, our chair in 2000. And J.C. also chairs our Golden Bell Education Foundation. And I believe, last but certainly not least, my good friend Michael Gora from Shapiro, Blasey, Wasserman, and Gora, who chaired our organization in 2001. Charles Shane, who was recognized earlier as one of the past recipients, chairs our PAC, Blue PAC. Charles is here from Bryson Realty Corporation. From the city of Boca Raton, we're very pleased to have two ladies who I greeted on the way in. Deputy Mayor Susan Haney is here. Deputy Mayor. And Council Member Constance Scott. From the Palm Beach County Commission, our representative from District 4, Commissioner Stephen Abrams. Steve. And I thought she was seated at his table. There she is, right behind him. Kelly Smallridge, the president of the Business Development Board of Palm Beach County. Thanks, Kelly. State officials, once again, Mr. Hager, please stand and be recognized on behalf of District 78. Beth Kennedy is here today. She's representing State Senator Maria Sachs from District 30. Where are you? She here? Okay, Beth. And Nan Rich, who is here on behalf of the State Senate Minority Leader from District 34. Is Nan here? We're also pleased to have from Chamber of Commerce just down the road our good friend Glenn Jurgensen, who's the president and CEO of the Boynton Beach Chamber of Commerce. And now it's my pleasure to introduce you to today's sponsors. The Chamber is fortunate to have two business leader sponsors this afternoon, partners in our effort: the Office Depot Foundation and the South Florida Business Journal, two organizations that are dedicated to the support of good business and a strong community. Thank you to the Office Depot team who are with us today, and the Office Depot Foundation team for being such outstanding corporate citizens and for your long-standing support of the Chamber, this marquee event, and our community. At this time, I would like to welcome to the dais, the podium, Mary Wong, the president of the Office Depot Foundation, to make a few comments. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Wong.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us. On behalf of the Office Depot Foundation and Office Depot, I'm delighted to welcome all of you to the Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce 2011 Business Luncheon. I would like to thank the Chamber for the opportunity to speak to you for just a minute. And this has been a long-standing partnership, and I'm very proud to be able to do this again this year. I would like to congratulate all today's honorees. You set just a wonderful example for everyone that's out there with the leadership and the business and your commitment to the community service that you do. I want to thank you for absolutely everything that you do for us in the community. As many of you know, the Office Depot Foundation is a public nonprofit, but it is the giving arm for Office Depot Corporation. And I would like to just tell you a little bit about what we've been up to and what we're doing. But I think first and foremost, we help take care of business. Let me give you two quick examples of how we're fulfilling that mission for us. Last Friday, we had a ribbon cutting ceremony at the corporate campus, and I wish to thank all of you that came and helped celebrate that. Quite frankly, it was a dream that I've had for several years that we could collaborate with nonprofits that are here locally, and we could have them help us make handmade products and sell them to the 1,800, 2,000 people that are at the corporate office. We actually got to open the store Friday, and Troy and Steve Abrams and many of the people here in the office, or here in the building here, came and helped us cut the ribbon. But more importantly, the reason that we're doing the store is not to keep the money, it's to give the money back here locally. And we gave away about $3,000 to local nonprofits that are here in Boca. I'd also like to tell you, so by the way, there's a calendar on your table, so anytime you need to shop, you just come to the corporate office and you get those gifts. I think it's the store that keeps on giving. The other piece I wanted to tell you is the store is being run by DECA students, and they're from Spanish River High School, and they have set up everything. And they run the store, they help do the schedules, they merchandise, so they're learning something with all of that. And it will be their national project that they're doing for their competition. We are also very proud of what we've done for Alabama. Last week, Friday, disaster preparedness is one of those things where you offer relief, recovery, rebuilding, and I know you all know that. But last Thursday and Friday, with the support of Office Depot and the Office Depot Foundation's donations and our partners Feed the Children, and we were able to send 2 truckloads of food and personal care items, and to both the associates in Alabama and also the people that were hard hit. The reason I stumbled a little bit here is it's very hard. I think you see what you see on TV, but when you see it in person, and Alabama was completely flatlined. You had nowhere to go with this stuff, and they literally were in lines to just get this. The reports I've heard and the photos I saw from Leon when Leon went there were just devastating. One of the lessons that all of us need to learn in this room, and you have a radio there, is still the best way to be and beat these things is to be prepared. And I hope that a simple thing as purchasing a CD disc and putting it as backup for your business helps save your business. So if you need to find any other resources, you all know you can go to the website and get that. And I want to thank you all again for making today a truly special event, and congratulations to all the honorees.
Thank you, Mary. Now I'd like to welcome Amy Allen, Palm Beach Market Manager for the South Florida Business Journal, to the stage to make a few comments as well.
Hello, South Florida Business Journal is proud to be a part of today's Business Awards luncheon and honor the leaders that help make our community a vibrant place to live, work, learn, and play. Boca Raton's business community is diverse and showing renewed signs of growth. In this week's Business Journal alone, we reported the following. Of the top 50 public companies in South Florida, 7 are headquartered here in Boca Raton. LXR Luxury Resorts and Hotels 7-story development, 1000 Ocean, has logged more than $38 million in new sales in less than 7 weeks. That makes a total of 37 residences, worth a combined $163 million that have closed since February 2010. A national clothing retailer will open a new store in Boca Raton by the end of the year. Our mission is to cover stories of local significance that can help business leaders succeed, grow, and bring economic prosperity to our community. Today's honorees are examples of leaders that are doing that every day, and we congratulate them and thank them for their contributions. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you to the South Florida Business Journal and Office Depot Foundation. And now it's my pleasure to introduce some more VIPs, believe it or not. We do have additional luncheon sponsors, and I want to thank each sponsor individually, and you will see their name and logo on the screen as I go through. Our grand sponsor, NCCI Holdings Incorporated. By all means. Our premier sponsors, Boca Raton Regional Hospital, Comerica Bank, JM Family Enterprises, First Southern Bank, First United Bank, and Rutherford Mahal, PA Attorneys and Counselors at Law. And our supporting sponsors. Once again, thank you to the Boca Raton Resort and Club, JKG Group, who generously donated the beautiful programs for the luncheon today, Boca by Design, who designed and provided the centerpieces, and Cellware, who are videotaping this event. Here they are right here. Thank you so much to our supporting sponsors. And again, thank you to all the sponsors and all of you who have attended today. We're very fortunate to be graced with your good company, and we appreciate your support. Enjoy your lunch. Okay, folks. I know that most of you are probably still enjoying your lunch, but I want to sort of push the agenda forward and hopefully get you out of here at a reasonable time. During the introduction of our sponsors, I have to apologize because one of our sponsors I failed to mention. I do apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, Citibank is also one of our sponsors here today, and their group's here today as well. So thank you to Citibank. Also, anybody who's lived in Boca Raton for any period of time is probably surprised not to see our mayor, Susan Welchel, here. You know, Susan is a great supporter of the Chamber, as with any civic or charitable organization. It's hard to think of an event where she hasn't either figured prominently or participated. Unfortunately, she is not feeling well today. She sends her regards, certainly to the award winners and to the Chamber and the luncheon attendees here today. So let's give a hand for our Mayor, Susan Welchel. At the Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce, we're in the business of helping businesses succeed, and we're excited to have members who have shared that goal with us. To present the 2011 Small Business Leader Award, please help me welcome to the podium someone who is the epitome of a multitasking business leader, successfully balancing 2 separate small businesses at the same time. She's the president of Telcom Corporation and Telcare Corporation, and she was the 2010 Small Business Leader of the Year winner, my dear friend and fellow Leadership 2001 alumnus and Red, Barbara Bush.
And Rochesterian. And Rochesterian, too. Good afternoon. I'm incredibly honored to be here today with you again to present the Small Business Leader of the Year Award to a very deserving recipient. But first, I want to thank each and every person here for supporting business in our community and for all of your hard work and your daily contributions. Each of you is a key economic driver that will help us steer Boca and surrounding communities out of troubled times. There is nothing we can't overcome working together. Let's give our business community a round of applause. In this world, there are dreamers who aspire to greatness or to effect great change. And there are doers who are grounded, tenacious, and realistic. Small business leaders are a rare breed, as they are both. Marcia Remock envisions the world as she thinks it should be, and then works to make it so. Therefore, it should be no surprise that while reading an article about loosening up visa restrictions to bring math and science experts in from other countries, she thought, well, why should we be doing that when we should be spending more time developing the talent that we have right here? Gandhi said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." He might as well have said, "Be the change you want to see in the world, Marcia Remock," because that thought is exactly what propelled today's recipient of the 2011 Small Business Leader of the Year Award into her current path. Thus began Mathnasium of Boca Raton, West Boca, and Weston, math learning centers that offer comprehensive remediation and enrichment mathematics, education, and tutoring to students in grades 2 through 12. Marcia started an education-focused business while having no formal training in the education field. She took the time and effort to learn the curriculum and methodology to build both skills and credibility in the field. She says that the brightest moments come from the kids, not surprising. How they light up when they finally understand a math problem that has been eluding them. Seeing their faces as they show off their first A grade in math, and the confidence that comes with the realization that they can succeed. That feeling of success is contagious and has led to many referrals for the Mathnasium program. In fact, 75% of their new students are referred from those who have personally experienced that Marcia and her staff deliver what they promise. Marcia holds a belief that to be successful in any enterprise or any undertaking, you must first know your strengths and challenges. Know what you can do and do it. Be open to ideas and solutions from others. Be realistic about the potential success of your business idea and how much money you will need, not just to sustain, but also profit from your business. Marcia was born in New York, but her family moved to Miami Beach when she was just 5 years old. She and her husband, David, who is here with her today, have been living in Boca Raton for 21 years and have 2 children, Stephen and Julie. Marcia is a past chair of the Make-A-Wish Foundation of South Florida, a current member of Florida Atlantic University College of Science Advisory Board, a sponsor of the FAU Science Olympiad, a current member of the Spanish River High School Academy's Advisory Board, president and alumnus of Leadership Boca Class of 2010, and an active member of the Greater Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce Government Affairs Committee, my favorite committee. And she was an integral part of that committee's greatly successful effort on an issue close to my own heart, the defeat of Amendment 4 last November. Over the years, I have met many small business owners who are passionate about economic development. and many parents who are passionate about providing not just sufficient but superior educations for our kids. Marcia is a unique combination of both because she understands the inextricable link between an educated child and the business community that will someday benefit from that child's unique abilities. I have never met anyone who cares more and does more to protect and advance our children's futures while greatly serving the business community. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please help me welcome our 2011 Small Business Leader of the Year, Marcia Remock.
Whoa. I'm going to, yeah. Thank you, Barbara. With all that you have done for the Chamber and the community, following you as recipient of this award is an honor all unto itself. I am very grateful to be standing here today. I'm also grateful not to have to follow Jerry Fideli. He's really good. But I would like to begin by thanking the Chamber leadership and the Board of Directors for selecting me for this award. They had hundreds of small businesses and many outstanding business people from whom to choose. It is hard to express how honored I feel by the support that I have received from many, many people in this community. We're also lucky to have Troy as the leader of this organization. He can be counted upon 100% of the time for his support in the efforts to make Boca Raton the bright and rising star that it is. I once received some advice from a very smart woman who told me, do business with people you like. Working in this community makes it easy to follow that advice. As a lifelong entrepreneur, I do a lot of mentoring for people venturing for the first time into entrepreneurship. I am quick to advise them that once they have performed the necessary due diligence, they will have to be prepared to coolly face the risk, or do what I do. Take failure off the table as an option and use sheer will to push through the stomach-gripping fear. Then pray and don't forget to breathe. The only way to be able to do that is to act with passion. You must have a true passion for what you do. You can only make others believe in your work if you first make them believe that you do. It is no secret to anyone who knows me for more than 5 minutes what I care about and what I am truly passionate about, which is educating our children so that they are ready to chart a path for the future, a bright and fulfilling future. We need to stretch every opportunity for every child. That's a major challenge for us right now. We are faced with a lack of proper funding. The resulting budget cuts and often misguided education policy are putting the students of our city, our district, and indeed our state at risk. So many good elements in the curriculum are being eliminated or severely cut back. Recently under attack, for example, is the Career Academies program in the high schools. This program has proven to prepare students for both higher education and the workplace. These kids are our future employees. The statistics back us up. The community with quality education as a priority attracts companies offering high-paying jobs filled by people who become our customers. A poorly trained and undereducated population is the most insidious threat we have to a thriving business community. It translates into the highest tax that can be levied on any business. So please, stay informed and get involved with what's happening in our school district. We in Boca have a history of helping and supporting our schools through the Chamber's Golden Bell Foundation. The foundation reached the $1 million landmark of giving this year. The citizens and businesses of Boca Raton have voluntarily and generously given to our local public schools to support innovative programs that raise the level of excellence in those schools. We must continue the fight in the coming months and years. As most of you would undoubtedly agree, in the end, it all comes down to family. I grew up in a great family. It was a family of strong beliefs that instilled in us a philosophy of dignity, integrity, loyalty, and pride. My sisters, Nan and Laura, and I often heard, if you always tell the truth, you never have to remember what you said. And we heard, put your mind in gear before you put your mouth in motion. And my personal favorite, which is, what you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. My sister Laura has always defined the true meaning of generosity. And my sister Nan, Senator Nan Rich, she's an inspiration. When fear strikes, she is where I look for courage. How many of us would really have liked to be minority leader of that Florida Senate this session? To my devoted husband, David, you have always got my back. To my son, Stephen, who's living in London right now, across the pond, and my precious daughter, Julie, you have been and will forever be my love, my strength, and my life. I am indeed blessed with family and community, and I am committed to them both with all my heart. I've tried to live by a lesson taught to me by a great leader and a personal hero. I would like to close by sharing his words with you right now. Many years ago, I worked for Florida's illustrious former governor, Leroy Collins. And Governor Collins said, every person must plant their feet on a chosen piece of moral ground and be proud to say for all time that this is where I stood. Thank you all.
Now, would you please help me welcome to the podium another good friend of mine. I guess when you're in the chamber business as long as we've been, we do get to be friends, too, on top of everything else. Charles Shane is the president of Bryson Realty Corporation, and Charles was the 2010 Business Leader of the Year, and he is here to recognize this year's Business Leader of the Year, Charles Shane. I believe your resume also has you as a leadership alumnus?
Of course.
Class of 2002?
Yeah.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good.
Hi, guys. Look how lucky we are. In Boca Raton, at the iconic Boca Raton Resort, sharing lunch with the business leaders and the movers and shakers of this wonderful community. There are people all over the world who are absolutely jealous of what you're doing right now, except for listening to me. And I want to emphasize what a special place this is. You know, last year when I was honored with this award, I accused the committee of lowering its standards. And I want you to know this year they went back to the A-list for sure. Marcia, by the way, congratulations for a very well-deserved award. And now I get the chance to recognize a very worthy recipient, Jerry Fideli of the Boca Raton Hospital. Jerry was brought on board at the hospital in 2008 as it was facing a seemingly insurmountable economic crisis. Business leaders of both small and large businesses must be able to tackle tough challenges by providing strong leadership, that's Jerry, and an unwavering commitment to team. The most successful possess a strong will to serve, to assist, to educate and to elevate the community. This year's recipient's a perfect example of this dedication. He has spent the last 13 years reshaping and restructuring financially challenged hospitals. After saving a major academic hospital and 3 community hospitals from the largest healthcare bankruptcy in our history, to the tune of $140 million turnaround, he came to Boca Raton Regional, where he led an initiative that resulted in operations improvements of $60 million over 18 months. It's easy to agree, Jerry. We're glad you're here. But as you are quick to say, no one succeeds alone. Jerry is quick to credit the hard work and dedication of the 800 physicians, 2,000 employees, and 1,200 staff who serve the community with enthusiasm and compassion. The outstanding team at Boca Raton Regional Hospital provides the #1 program in cardiac surgery, the #1 program in cardiology, the #1 program in stroke care, and the #2 program in gastroenterology in the state of Florida, here in our backyard. The hospital provides oncology services that are competitive with major academic and medical centers nationally, and is consistently ranked among the top 5% of hospitals nationally. As a large local employer and invaluable healthcare resource in this community, we trust that Jerry will continue to motivate physicians, employees, and volunteers toward the success of Boca Raton Regional Hospital. Born in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, Jerry loves the outdoors and spends his spare time playing golf, cycling, and spending time with his family. I don't know where he finds spare time, because the man is all over the hospital. Real quick diversion, had a friend in a hospital this week for surgery. Jerry was kind enough to go see him 3 times. Check with his family, make sure his room was right, make sure his recovery was coming along. And that's Jerry Fideli. He exerts his creative genius, taking photographs as a hobby, spending time with his family. When he's relaxing inside, he's probably watching college basketball or The Godfather Part 1, his favorite movie. Good choice. An active supporter of the Chamber, Jerry sits on the board of directors, where he strives to foster a positive atmosphere for business and build synergistic relationships with political leaders, the business community, and residents of our fair city. Jerry received his Bachelor's of Science in Mathematics with honors and Master of Business Administration degrees from the University of Pittsburgh, and a Juris Doctor degree from Duquesne University School of Law, where he was class valedictorian. Always the hard worker, Jerry helped support his college education working as a mailman during the summer months. Well, we don't have a lot of sleet or snow in Boca Raton, but Jerry, I think we all agree, we're grateful that no matter rain, nor heat, nor hurricane warnings, you and your staff keep on your appointed rounds, and you continue delivering incredible health care for our community. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the 2011 Business Leader of the Year, Jerry Fideli.
Well, good afternoon. It is really a pleasure to be here. When I had the opportunity to enter the hall this afternoon, I saw many, many good friends that I made here over the last 2 years. Of course, everybody said congratulations, but there was one consistent theme that every one of my good friends reinforced to me was keep it short. So we will keep it short today. You know, I really am honored to be before you here today and with this really prestigious award. And I couldn't help but notice when I read the bios of the other awardees today, we have a real synergistic relationship between the 3 of us. First of all, to Marcia and Mathnasium, the great work she does. I know as a undergraduate student of mathematics, in terms of my undergraduate studies, how important a good mathematical background is for success today in life and in business. And so I make that connection with Marcia. On the other hand, we just had a great lunch here, and we all like food. So for U.S. Food Service, this is a synergy that just is second to none. So I appreciate being on the podium with our other awardees. I want to extend my appreciation to the Chamber as well for recognizing me today. And as Charles said in his introduction, it really is not a recognition of me. It's a recognition of a team and a community. No person succeeds on their own. And I'm very privileged to be here, but we could not have made the significant improvements we made over the last 2 years without an extraordinarily dedicated senior team who really was committed to the success of this hospital, without 2,000 employees and 800 medical staff members who sacrificed in very real terms on their own backs to make the progress we made. It's really a recognition of the importance of this hospital, both to the community and for the community. You know, every month in our hospital, we have 1,200 volunteers who give freely of their time to make our organization successful. We've got philanthropy in this community that's second to none. They give very freely of their treasure. We've got a board of directors. You know, being on a board of a not-for-profit institution, if your institution's going very well, is somewhat nice work. It can be easy. You can go to nice lunches from time to time and talk about what's going on. But in difficult times, that's when you really understand who the leaders of a community are. And over the last 3 years, the challenges that this hospital has had, and to see the board members who are uncompensated, who devote tremendous hours in very complex business environment, to see the success of this hospital is really extraordinary. And lastly, to the residents that depend on us every day for great health care. You know, our industry is undergoing great change. All you got to do is watch the TV or read the newspaper and know what pressure health care is under. We get more attention on the business pages today than we do in the science pages. It's a real change in what healthcare has been in the past. Yet the cornerstone of Boca Raton Regional Hospital remains the same as it was in 1967 when it was founded. It is to conserve and promote the health of the community. We have that singular mission and that singular responsibility. Well, I'm honored to be recognized here today. You know, leading Boca Raton Regional Hospital is really marvelously simple proposition. It has a profound impact on the community. We are an economic driver. We're a $360 million business in this community. Beyond being an economic driver, we're an educator. We educate medical students today, and with our ever-growing and increasing relationship with Florida Atlantic University, we'll be educating the residents of tomorrow and the physicians who will take care of many of us into the future. And lastly, not least, our core purpose is to treat illness. It is the core of our institution. It is the DNA of our institution, to help others in the most significant and challenging times of their lives. You know, Boca is a special place. We have a maternity unit. Every time a new baby is born, a lullaby plays over the overhead intercom throughout the entire hospital. It's a great feeling when you know you're bringing new life into the community. We also treat those people in the most difficult times of their life and most challenging times. And lastly, many times we're treating people at the end of their life. So from the beginning of life to the end of the life, we are there to meet the needs of this community. And to do it not just with science and the technology we have, due to the compassion and generosity of the community from a charitable perspective, to do it with dignity and really make that connection with the community. From the boardroom to the bedroom, or from the boardroom to the bedside, that's what motivates us every day. What makes this award, though, so meaningful for me is really the friendships over the 2+ years I've been here that I've gotten to make in Boca Raton, and the support we received from the Chamber and Troy, who was one of the first people to reach out to me a couple years ago when I arrived and extend a welcome. It was very nice for somebody new in the community to feel that welcome and go out of his way many evenings after regular work hours to see what he could do to help me. For that, I'll never forget that. To the mayor, Susan Welchel, who I did get the message before I came up to the podium tonight that she wouldn't be with us today. She was feeling under the weather. But the message also reinforced the fact that she's using our services today. So I guess between being here to honor me and continuing to support the economic well-being of the hospital, not that I wish her any illness, I'm glad to see between the two. And if she's not feeling well, she is utilizing our services. In addition to Susan, a city council that's really second to none in supporting our hospital. Deputy Mayor Susan Haney and Councilwoman Constance Scott, they have been there for us at every turn over the last difficult 2 years to really ask me what they could do for us. It's very unusual, very different in many other communities. To the Board of Directors, I've already recognized Dick Schmidt, Chairman of the Board of Directors, Christine Lynn, Vice Chair, Warren Orlando, Chairman of our Foundation Board of Directors, and they're just three of the leaders, very important leaders, many other board members that spend unbelievable amounts of time, and it comes from their heart. Many of these people don't have to do this. They do it because they want a great institution serving a great community. Boca Raton Regional is a great healthcare provider in a great city with great businesses, big and small. I'm proud to call Boca Raton home. It's been a real great experience for me the last couple of years. And lastly, I close by saying, you know, when you get a award like this, you can kind of feel pretty good about yourself, right? You get a big head, you think, man, I'm doing a good job, everything's going well. And you got to try and reconnect and bring yourself down to earth from time to time, so I try to do that. One of the things I do, as Charles said, is I visit patients a lot. You know, patients won't just tell you nice things because they think you're the CEO and want to hear nice things. They tell you how it really is. Try to spend a lot of time with my employees. I spend one day a month doing what I call job share, doing a staff level job in the hospital. It's kind of like Undercover Boss, except not being undercover. And I've been doing this for many, many, many years before Undercover Boss. And I just recount the story one day. I was working in the cafeteria. You know, the cafeteria workers start really early in the morning, 5:30 or earlier sometimes, because they have to have breakfast ready for the patients and the staff. And so I go to the cafeteria, I'm working with this worker one day, think I'm really making a connection, I'm understanding what she does from her work job every day, what her challenges are, what she likes about the hospital, what she doesn't like, starting to connect with her a little bit personally, asking her about her family and her kids. And we were having a nice conversation. So we were having our lunch that day, and I eat lunch with the people I'm working with. And of course, lunch, if you're a cafeteria worker, is about 10:30 in the morning, because they got to be done with breakfast and ready for lunch for everybody else in the hospital. So I'm sitting at the lunch table with the lady, and I said, you know, I've had a really great experience so far today. I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. And again, I think this is just great. I'm making a connection with this lady, and she looks at me and she says, you know, she says, can you tell me again who you are and exactly why you're here? So if you start to think too much of yourself or think you're too full of yourself, all you got to do is talk to those patients that will tell you why they're unhappy, and it happens from time to time. Talk to those employees who aren't really all that impressed with what you're doing. They want to know what you're doing to make them successful day to day, and that's why we have a great hospital at Boca Raton. I want to thank you very much. I am certain there are other recipients of this award that are much more accomplished than I am, but there are none that are more grateful. Thank you very much.
When you heard the introduction and when you hear Jerry's remarks, it's really amazing the fact that he and Terry and their family have been part of our community for just over 2 years. And he had a big task when he came. He was entrusted with something that was very important to everybody in this community, sort of a homegrown jewel. And he's treated it very, very well, and he's done this community a real service. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Fideli. Another homegrown business that we are very proud of was last year's recipient of the Business of the Year Award. A year ago, we honored Lynn University for its incredible accomplishments in making its mark on business and on this community, and certainly on a population that we definitely desire to serve, our young people. Please help me welcome to the podium its president and our Chamber's treasurer, Kevin Ross, to present this year's Business of the Year Award.
Thank you very much, John, and good afternoon to everyone. There is a typo, actually, I wanted to point out in the brochure there. It says that I was a 2005 Leadership Boca grad, and the truth is I did not have enough credits to graduate from that class. I got tied up in a doctoral program and I head out there, so ironically, I have an honorary degree from the Chamber for the class of 2005. So thank you very much, Troy, for bestowing that on me. I also have a very quick Jerry Fideli story. Everybody loves Jerry. We love Jerry. He's done amazing things with the hospital, but some of you may be familiar that Mrs. Lynn had a fall while on a ski slope this year and had a terrible fracture. She's fine. She's doing great, thanks to the Boca Raton Community Hospital. And when she was, regional, it's just a force of habit, Boca Raton Regional Hospital. So when she was injured, she had an option to be operated on in Utah, and she chose not to. She chose to come back here home where she knew she'd get the best care and the best service. So she flew all the way back from Utah, comes right up to the emergency room doors, and who is there Jerry, standing there with a wheelchair, ready for her to take her right into surgery. This is a very committed, very dedicated, and very smart man. So congratulations to Marcia and Jerry on your awards. They're very well deserved. The cornerstone of any successful business, as you can see by today's recipients, is having a strong, needed service to provide to the community, the tenacity to work through challenges and ability to be a strong community partner. And one of the most outstanding attributes of the 2011 Business of the Year, U.S. Food Service South Florida, is their overwhelming commitment to being a values-based company. And they have been that way since long before it was a popular idea. The team at U.S. Food Service is dedicated to what they call living beyond, otherwise known as doing much more than just delivering the groceries. They provide a unique, high-quality service, all while building enduring connections with business partners and their community. While they are quickly recognized as a food distribution company for the local schools, U.S. Food Service actually provides food to more than 2,300 restaurants, healthcare facilities, hotels, schools, and government agencies. Headquartered right here in Boca Raton, the division works with customers from Vero Beach to Key West, and locally they employ more than 300 people. While so many businesses were cutting back a few years ago, U.S. Food Service was forging ahead. In 2010, the company completed a multi-million-dollar expansion to their local facility, making it roughly the same size as 6.5 football fields. It features state-of-the-art emergency backup generator to keep the freezers and coolers operating in any type of weather, so now we all know where to go to get ice during hurricane season. They were able to install energy-efficient lighting throughout the warehouse and office space, an on-site vehicle maintenance shop to keep trucks and equipment running smoothly and safely. And the expanded facility has allowed them to increase their product offerings to stock 12,000 unique, fresh, frozen, dry, and non-food products. The combination of outstanding employees who evidently know everything worth knowing about food and a first-rate facility make them a definitive Business Leader of the Year. But a strong product offering is only half the story. U.S. Food Service is committed to giving back to their community. Since July 2009, the company has donated nearly 360 tons of food to Feeding South Florida, the state's largest food bank. Those donations have provided nearly 500,000 meals to residents of Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade, and Monroe counties. It's smart business to make a big impression on your community, but not on the environment. U.S. Food Service minimizes its reliance on plastics, reduces its energy consumption, minimizes waste, conserves resources, uses recycled materials, and provides customers with environmentally preferable products. From being a quality employer, a strong business partner, a benevolent community partner, and a friend of the environment, U.S. Food Service truly goes beyond the plate. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Ron White, Division President for U.S. Food Service, the head of a company of individuals who are unique yet united in their quest to ensure a better business community, to receive the award for the 2011 Business of the Year.
This is indeed quite an honor, very humbling to be honored in this way, and it's really a great experience. I do want to thank the Chamber. I moved here about 4 years ago, and one of the first phone calls I received, like many in the room, was from Troy McClellan, offering his help, support, and his friendship to me and to my company as we were getting ready to invest upwards of $38 million in expanding our facility. We did this in some pretty tough economic times in the country and certainly in South Florida. And Troy, I really value and appreciate your support. Thank you very much. And one of the things that I've learned over the years, one of my mentors taught me, as we talked about business, and there's so many different businesses represented here this afternoon, that his lesson to me, and he was a wise man in the business, and he said to me, Ron, let me tell you, you can be in any business you want to be in, any business at all. But the day you forget that you're really in the people business, you're out of business. And I sincerely believe that. So with a little bit of that thought in mind, I would like to from my portion of my staff is here today. If you would stand up, thank you very much for helping our company and everything that you've done for us. It's been great. And one of my fondest sayings is, and I say it about myself, of all my faults, ingratitude's not one of them. I appreciate so many people that have helped me over the years, the local support here in the community, and it's just been fantastic. So congratulations to the other award winners. This is indeed an honor, and it is a privilege, and we thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Are we blessed in Boca Raton or what? Let's give all our recipients another round of applause. Ron, congratulations. Marcia, Jerry, thanks so much. So well deserving of these awards. Before we adjourn, we ran up just a few minutes over, but not bad. I want to get you back to work. There are these beautiful centerpieces at the table, and the person's birthday who's closest to today gets to take it home or just give it to the ladies at the table. But anyway, thank you so much for being here again. Congratulations to everyone. We'll see you soon.